committee and Nick Wright were up late into the night, burning the midnight oil to present the latest tiers heading into Week 5. It's the best segment in all of sports television. Take it away.
Thank you, Kevin Wildes, and I hate to start with such a downer for you after you give that great introduction, but let's reveal the 8 teams, 7 teams that don't even get on tiers. The Patriots are on there, and we know that. Listen, these teams, the Saints, some people thought they could be a playoff team. By some people, I mean, my man from New Orleans himself, Chris Broussard. Some people believe those teams they shouldn't have. Lions, they're fun to watch, but they don't get on the tiers. Okay, now the 24 teams that still matter in the NFL this season. AFC hanging by a thread. These 5 teams, the Jets, shout out to the Jets for making the tiers, by the way, are all still alive. The Titans and Colts by virtue of being in the AFC South, the Raiders and Broncos by virtue of the overall talent, and the Jets because, hey, Zach Wilson, first game back, looked good, but they need to get hot weeks 5 through 8 because they are barely hanging on. All right, now, NFC hanging by a thread, but for very different reasons. 2 of these teams were projected to be 2 of the 4 worst teams in football, the Falcons and Seahawks. That is not how it has gone. The Falcons are 2 plays away from being 4-0. The Seahawks, some people are saying it's the best a Seahawks quarterback has played in years. That's by some people, I mean me. And the Cardinals are getting DeAndre Hopkins back. Which sounds great, except for the fact that the coach and the quarterback really don't seem to get along. But still a talented team. All right, Wildes, these are tiers. You know what these are not?
Standings.
Not the standings.
You want to go somewhere else?
Yeah, you want standings, go to NFL.com. They got a nice little link for you. You want analysis, come here. All these teams are 3-1. They all have reason to be concerned. Miami, obviously, we know. We called them the favorites till Friday, but we knew they were not quite that level of team, and now Tua is injured. They have controversy, all of it. The Giants and the Cowboys are, right now, both a quarterback away from making you really think about it. The Cowboys might be getting that quarterback back. The Vikings, I watched Kevin O'Connell, and he's now hanging out in the same room as Nathaniel Hackett. You really can't figure out how to handle the clock, and your quarterback's Kirk Cousins. So I'm going to have questions about you all year. All right, piece missing. Missing a piece, I should say. For the Packers, we talked about it, it's a receiver. For the Rams, we talked about it, it's offensive line and maybe a receiver. For the Chargers, it's a new team doctor. And for the Browns, it's the quarterback for the time being, and they gave that game away this weekend. But they all, if they fill out the roster correctly, could be quite dangerous. Okay. Next group. Dangerous in December. Oh, gosh. Hey, Peanut Gallery, listen up. 4 fumbles. These 3 teams, each of their 2 wins have been resounding dominant wins. And these 3 teams, each of at least one of their losses, they just gave the game away and are going to regret that. However, they have shown you through the first month of the season that they could be very dangerous late in the season. All right, scary everywhere. 3 teams, all with dominant defenses. There's no question about their defenses. The Bills have a superhero at quarterback, even if he's a tad overrated by the general media. The Bucs have the GOAT at quarterback. And the Niners have Deebo Samuel, who Chris Broussard said might be the best player in the NFL, and George Kittle. Awesome defenses, very good weapons, or very good quarterbacks, dangerous everywhere. Okay, now the question. Favorites for the number 1 seed, Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia is going to go 14-3. I don't think, however, they're quite as dominant as that record or their current record will suggest. They have forced 10 turnovers. They've only given up 2 giveaways. I'm not yet fully bought in on Jalen Hurts, the league MVP, but in the NFC, they should run away with the number 1 seed. So who does that leave? Well, it leaves not even the favorites. Not the favorites. They've passed that. The juggernauts. The Chiefs.
Okay.
I don't know what more needs to be said.
Surprise.
Yeah, did you see this weekend? Something very interesting. We had games happening on multiple continents, Brew, and every single one of them was a 1-score game in the 4th quarter, except for one, that is, of course. And that one involved the Chiefs and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game was over. It was 5 minutes into it. The Chiefs, and did you all see another thing? Do you know who, according to a pass rush win rate, has been the most dominant interior defender in all of the league? Defender. It's not Aaron Donald. It is Chris Jones, my friend. So you have maybe the best defensive player in football, definitely the best quarterback in football, the best tight end in football, the best coach in football. Sounds like a juggernaut to me. There's your tiers for week 5.
Pretty good.
All right. No surprise that the Chiefs have moved back to the top,
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Well, because they lost to the Colts. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to say, Nick, I want to give you some love. welcome to the bandwagon, Nick.
For what?
It's scary everywhere.
I have them in the Super Bowl.
Scary everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, assuming everywhere means
offense,
everywhere.
defense, yeah.
That means defense, means skill
Offense,
positions,
yeah.
means offense,
Yeah.
means quarterback. And you said very good quarterbacks. You did say that, Nick. So welcome to the Jimmy G bandwagon.
Okay, so here's the problem, and I would think a wordsmith
Scary
like you would
everywhere.
be fine. It doesn't say scary everyone, everywhere, on offense, on defense, on special teams.
How can you
The
be
Niners,
scary with a bum behind center?
Well, listen, nobody said he's a bum. He's just not a very good quarterback. However, everything else, I picked the Niners to go to the Super Bowl. Is that your critique, is the Niners?
No, that's one of them. I just wanted to give you love on that.
Okay.
Welcome,
Oh, all right.
welcome
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Oh,
My critique is, come on. Green Bay, how in the world are the Jaguars going to be more dangerous in December than the Packers? Those two teams should be switched. Trevor Lawrence had more turnovers last Sunday than Rodgers will have all season probably. Okay, maybe a slight overstatement,
Yeah,
but it'll be close, all right? It'll be close. So, no, look, Jags are playing better than I expected. I'll give you credit on that. But you got to switch them and the Packers because the Packers will improve and be dangerous.
Okay, I think the
December.
Jags are going to be a better team this year than the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
That's fine.
Dangerous in December because I picked them in August to be a playoff team. That's why they're dangerous.
And top 5 in the league in point differential, and top 10 offense, top 10 defense, and the Prince that was promised.
All right.
So
Yeah, he really
Nicolytics.
Yeah,
that's what we're just. And then here's the. I need to know what your definition of juggernaut is. Is your definition of juggernaut giving up 400 yards to the Chargers, who have a quarterback with broken ribs and almost losing a game, winning the game simply because you let a guy return a touchdown for a pick six for a touchdown who was flipping burgers at Wendy's 6 months earlier, okay?
Oh, yeah,
so
You're
is
just
your
talking about depth being
definition
important.
of a juggernaut a defense that gave up 31 points to Tampa?
Garbage.
Is your like a defense or a team that lost to the Colts, who you've got? Wait a minute, let me see. Where are the Colts here? The Colts are.
Oh, they're hanging by a
the
thread.
Colts are.
They're
hanging by a thread. They're right down there at the bottom.
Right.
What is the definition of juggernaut? Somebody who's got a really spectacular,
say
fun to
undefeated.
watch quarterback and can't play defense. Is
Oh,
that
see,
what
they can't play defense thing. I'm going to go ahead and tell you you're wrong. Because game 1 of the season, the defense dominated Arizona, and then in the when they were up by 30 points, let Arizona get a couple touchdowns. I think you just told me they won game 2. I think you just said, my friend, they won game 2 because of a 99-yard pick six. Who
with
does
a quarterback
the pick six?
who had broken ribs?
Well,
the sound he gave when he threw the ball was.
He didn't go into the game with broken ribs. You know how he got his ribs hurt? The dominant defense. And then the next week, the defense was dominant against the Colts. The special teams lost it. And last week, they let Brady have a couple of nice moments. He's going through a rough time, trying to be charitable. My God. Hey, what are you more for? Listen, I understand you're a Denver guy.
Juggernaut.
And I understand that
Juggernaut.
you're used to the Broncos
astute.
crushing the Chiefs because that's what they did when you were there.
Right.
But give me a break. I mean, Wildes, you have no issue.
I can't believe.
I have only one issue. I thought it was an excellent segment so far, but I'm going to ask to zoom out on the tiers. You know, I like to look for the little diamonds in the rough. Yeah. And a lot of smart football people or football person had this team going all the way to the Super Bowl. Some people were calling this team the Patriots of the West. That's right, the Raiders.
Okay.
Well, listen, Josh McDaniels got there and he said, ooh, what should we do? I don't want to run. Bill Belichick used to make me run. I don't want to do that anymore. Bill Belichick was right. Through the first 3 games, Raiders had 17 attempts, ran for 80 yards. They're like, okay, why don't we try to run the ball? 38 attempts, 212 yards, 2 TDs. Guess what? You also won. That's the first one. Great. Reason number 2. I have a little acronym for this.
Wait.
TPTWP. No. I don't know what you're referring to. We show the graphic. It's Devontae Adams and Carr finally hooking up. Hasn't dropped a pass yet this year. That's right. The passes that were promised. Devontae and Carr finally hooking up. And again, stink. A lot of people don't call one win a streak. If you want to push back on me like that, I'm willing to listen. That being said, Ooh, you get that one win, you start feeling good.
Right.
I'm also a sucker when the quarterback gives the ball to a coach. I always think that's great, even in Little League. Like, hey, Dad, I got this for you. Thanks for coming out. He's like, well, here we go. Wow, start crying. That's what happened. Derek Carr's like, you know what, Josh, you deserve this ball. Josh's like, thank you.
Yeah.
Visor is almost popped off.
You know what he
his
said
head.
right there? Look at him. He goes, "We're going streaking.
Love
We're
it.
going streaking."
Well, he might not go streaking. You know where he might go. Or take the old bus around Arrowhead on Monday night. Little nothing to lose game. So for your own benefit, meet me halfway. If you move the Raiders up, if the Chiefs ended up losing, you'd be like, oh, what do you want me to do? The Raiders were a hot team. Some people had them going to the Super Bowl. Raiders up a notch.
Okay, you can't move the Raiders up a notch.
Okay.
Because the loss to Arizona was just unforgivable the way it happened. The next week they lose to a Titans team that, even though Brew was still holding on to the fact that they were good last year, is not very good this year. And their one win is against a mediocre at best team with an aging quarterback that's kind of been sad to watch so far. However, I actually think the Raiders, after the Chiefs annihilate them on national television on Monday, could get it together. Houston, New Orleans, Jacksonville's tough. Indy, then they get that sad sacks in Denver again. I think 1-4 for the Raiders could turn into 4-5.
Ooh, starting to get hot.
And that they stay alive. I actually think that team is a live dog throughout the rest of the year.
You know what?
But I
as
can't.
much as
I
you
can't
can ask for
elevate
from the
them.
tiers. I don't try to go for
How
the
about this?
whole pie like you guys. I'm just looking for a little bit.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.